Hi, I'm Charles with AniCap. Previously, Bai was accepted as a disciple to become an immortal. In the immortal realm, Bai would discover that his chosen walk is able to double the power of anything he puts in it. However, he loses some lifespan when he does. Later, Bai heads to the bloodstream sector in search of the relic of eternity. He wears a disguise to conceal his identity and is told by a mysterious person that he needs to compete in the Bloodmaster trial to accomplish his goal. The story continues as Bai, disguised as Yi Zhang, goes to a waterfall that he first saw on the day he joined Middle Peak. Bai is confident that with such dense blood ki around, he will definitely get twice the results with half the effort if he trains there. He has a memory of when Dan questioned if he really wanted to take part in the Bloodmaster trial, since it's a trial for selecting the master of one of the peaks. It is an extremely savage event, but Bai explains that taking part is unavoidable. Dan reveals that trusted guardians are allowed to join participants, but what they really are just disciples willing to sacrifice themselves. He warns that Bai will be ripped to shreds and badly injured if not dead. Bai thinks to himself how whether he becomes a trusted guardian or participates in the trial himself, mastering the strongest skill is most important. Bai determines that he needs more blood ki and follows his instincts to find that there is a whole different world behind the waterfall. It is a very valuable place for cultivating since there is an abundance of blood ki there, and he rushes to quickly finish cultivating the blood sector's secret technique. There are 3 stages to cultivating the blood killer world. The first involves blood ki refinement, which creates outer blood ki from condensed inner blood ki. The second refines blood fluid and allows a person to condense a sword from blood ki. The third is a supreme skill that only one cultivator in every 10,000 achieves, called the blood ancestral reversion. Bai determines that in order to pass the trial, he must at least be at the peak of blood fluid refinement. He is confident as always in his cultivating abilities, and we see that someone has arrived outside. Bai is then amazed to see that his hard work was not wasted, as he did manage to summon a blood sword. His hopes disappear just as fast as the sword does, and Bai can't understand what went wrong. Just then, another sword almost hits him as Song reveals himself. He says that the sector rules state that things must be taken by force, and if Yi Zhang wants to have the waterfall for cultivating, then it will depend on whether or not he has what it takes. Yi Zhang can't believe how unlucky he is and tells Song that he can just have the place as he leaves. This isn't enough for Song though, as he is upset to see Yi Zhang think he can just come and go as he pleases in Song's territory. Bai manages to summon a short sword as he prepares to fight Song, but is disappointed to see it become a small dagger. He manages to defend himself just well enough, but Song is not impressed by the first ranker of 10,000 blood cliffs, and he mocks him for not being able to condense an actual blood sword. Bai knows that he would easily win if he could use his spirit stream sector techniques, but he can't, and he sees that his dagger won't last for much longer. He knows that he just needs more blood ki and absorbs a good amount as he closes the gap with Song. Song is caught off guard by Yi Zhang's attack, but he isn't finished, and the two begin fighting once more. They fight a bit more evenly as the two end up outside. Song states that his family won't be interested in Yi Zhang as a guardian, but even if they were, he would kill him all the same. Bai's blood leaks into his weapon, and he is amazed to see that it's actually responding with the blood sword. The undying power comes from the same sector and origin as the giant, which means the sector's blood ki is the undying blood. Song continues to mock Yi Zhang, but is startled when he begins to do something. Bai thinks about how he never realized that the undying blood ki from his body is actually the best source of power. Song plans to teach Yi Zhang a lesson on the blood killer world technique, but he is ready this time and uses his undying blood sword. The two exchange an attack, and Song is in disbelief to see that Yi Zhang had somehow had a breakthrough even under the pressure of his blood ki. Bai is glad to see that he succeeded, but something doesn't feel right as he faints, and Song leaves him to die from blood ki backlash. Bai is heavily wounded as he falls to the bottom of the river, but something strange begins to happen. Everyone in town has their blood ki taken from them, as we see a red cloud form above the river. Bai's body begins to levitate, and he wakes up to find that his undying blood can actually absorb nearby blood ki. He is confident that this will take his training to the next level, but we see that the people from town are approaching rapidly in search of the blood thief. Luckily, Bai managed to escape just in time, but determines that he must control his undying blood powers so that he doesn't take too much and bring unwanted attention. The townsmen continue searching for the thief, but are then scolded for almost disturbing Sumei's cultivation. We then see what Sumei was told by her accomplice. The man explained that she will join the trial, but she cannot use the techniques she knows since only blood techniques are allowed. This is the reason why he gave her the blood gathering bottle. With it, she will be able to cultivate the blood killer world faster and continue tricking everyone. Sumei attempts to do just that, but another force seems to be sneaking in. Elsewhere, Bai is surprised to see that he can absorb such pure blood ki from this new spot he found, and we see that he is the one invading Sumei's training. She notices that someone is stealing blood from her and sends the force back, but Bai refuses to give up now. Of course, Sumei won't allow someone to just steal from her, and the two struggle for control, but it only results in the bottle being destroyed. Sumei is then shocked as she senses undying power, and realizes just then who her opponent must be. Master Diviner arrives to blame the blood thief for stealing her blood ki, but she explains that she simply failed at cultivating and there was no thief. She asks to be left alone, and we see that Diviner has decided to search for the thief himself. He is successful in pinpointing his location, but finds that his blood ki is being stolen as well. Back with Bai, we see that he is in bad shape as the power of the undying blood is too strong. He did not intend to absorb so much blood ki, but it was just drawn to him. Bai determines that he has no other option and decides to just accept all of it. Doing so brings forth the 10 elephants, and a gigantic monster rises from the body of water below him. Something happens within Bai, and he is now able to unleash a mountain-shaking strike. This is not all, as we see that he uses blood fluid to summon a much larger sword, and he uses it to do massive damage. Bai states his real name out loud and says that once he absorbs a little more blood ki, even the elders and blood masters won't be a match for him. Bai is feeling pretty good about himself, but finds that the talking rabbit that mimics anything it hears heard what he said, and has begun to repeat it. Bai attempts to stop it from getting away, but it's too late as it heads outside, repeating what Bai just said. The rabbit says Bai's name loud and clear for everyone to hear, shocking everyone including Sumei. Sumei then has a flashback of when she was told not to forget about how she disobeyed her master's orders in Donglin City, giving us our first clue about her true identity. The man goes on to say that if she truly wants to protect the person closest to her, then she knows what she needs to do. Back nearby, we see that the rabbit has made everyone suspicious that Bai is nearby. Yi Zhang isn't ready to reveal his true identity as Bai just yet, and acts like he just realized that Bai is the one behind everything. He makes it clear to everyone that he has a deep hatred for Bai, and demands that the talking bunny reveal his location. The bunny doesn't, so he applies more pressure, and the bunny just ends up mimicking someone else's words. This time, he mimics Master Diviner's words and reveals that he vows to one day have Sumei in his arms. The rabbit gets nervous and begins to reveal the other secrets as well, but they start to not believe what it's saying. Yi Zhang is glad to see that they no longer believe the stupid rabbit's words. He states that he is there to capture the blood thief as well, and didn't expect the thief to use a rabbit as a distraction. What he doesn't realize though is that his undying blood has stolen the other's blood right in front of them. They are furious, and Yi Zhang's escape is interrupted by a large number of disciples. Just then, Chan just so happens to be coming by when Yi Zhang runs right through his carriage. The heated chase continues, and the disciples become even more frustrated when they notice that Yi Zhang is still stealing their blood ki even now. Elsewhere, Song peacefully cultivates alone when he notices that his blood ki is violently being taken away. He emerges from the cave, furious to see that someone has dared to absorb the middle peak's blood ki. Bai manages to find a place to rest and thinks about how he should not be blamed since he is just a cultivation genius that the blood ki actively selected to be the chosen one. He must continue running though when he is found by Master Diviner and his group. Bai plans to head to the corpse peak instead, as he is confident they won't follow him there. Nearby though, we see that Master Diviner uses a mysterious skill called Heavenly Divination Arts. Bai finally makes it back to his house so that he can get his corpse peak token, but finds that there was someone waiting for him. Master Diviner and the rest of the group reveal themselves, and they destroy his corpse peak token so that he cannot leave. The group then ambushes him, but are shocked to see how strong Yi Zhang's body is. They realize that he must have secretly cultivated the body refinement technique, and defeating him will be difficult, even when he is severely outnumbered. Master Diviner isn't too worried though, and commands everyone to attack Yizang at once. They unleash a devastating barrage of blood swords on Bai, but are shocked to see that Yizang is still standing. Yizang declares that he is done running now. They have repeatedly tried to kill him, even though he has never thought of harming anyone, and he is finally tired of being bullied. The group couldn't care less though, and attempt to attack him together once more. This time, Yizang fights back and beats on them all mercilessly. The fight is nowhere near close, as Yizang demonstrates just how much of a difference there is between them. He doesn't hold back one bit and loudly questions if they actually thought he feared them. Bai shows just how amazing he is, as he manages to take them all on without having to use any spirit stream sector techniques. He is able to do all this with only the bloodstream sector techniques that he has just learned in the last few days. However, Bai seems to be losing control as his attacks become more primal and gruesome. Shan can't believe that he is watching the same Yizang, and we soon see that the fight is over. Yizang doesn't seem satisfied yet though, and demands that more of them attempt to kill him. Everyone is clearly too afraid, so Yizang just laughs and continues to demand more fighting. Just then, the disciples look to the sky as a red cloud has formed, and see that it's Song. Song is more furious than ever, as Yizang is to blame for interrupting his cultivation and stealing his blood key. Yizang is seemingly seeking death, so Song proclaims that he will give it to him. Onlookers realize that Song is preparing to use last stage blood refinement, but Master Diviner explains that it's actually peak blood fluid refinement. Yizang doesn't seem fearful at all as Song releases his immense attack, and he proclaims that he can do the same. Onlookers are in absolute disbelief as they see that Yizang has blocked a powerful attack, but decide to try and take him down during this opportunity. Yizang is not to be messed with though, as he manages to fend off both attacks with one move, and Shan can't understand how Yizang has become even more powerful than Song now. Song points out how Yizang wasn't even using the Blood Killer World at all. Bai admits that he's right and prepares to show everyone what the Blood Killer World technique truly is. Blood Ki begins to be pulled from everywhere, and Master Diviner wonders how Yizang is able to control all of the Blood Ki in Middle Peak. They wonder what kind of monster he has become, as he has clearly gone berserk. Bai's body is constantly consuming massive amounts of Blood Ki, and we see that a huge ruthless savage demon has been summoned. The disciples are shocked to see that Yizang has somehow fused the body refinement technique with the Blood Killer World. Yizang loudly states that if they all want to kill him, then he will simply just kill them all first. He unleashes the true Blood Killer World attack as everyone tries to defend themselves, but it proves not to be enough as he is about to break their shield. However, just then he is momentarily stopped as someone has had enough and manages to disperse the blood. Yizang isn't finished though and wonders why it wasn't enough before when he was the one being attacked. He won't let the injustice go unpunished and shows his blood ancestral reversion. The attack is absolutely devastating as everyone is defeated, but Yizang continues to ask for more fighting. He has clearly gone mad as Yizang screams for someone to try and kill him like before, but he is stopped when Patriarch Wuji arrives, asking if he has had enough yet. Yizang is clearly still defiant as he withstands a move from Wuji. Wuji proclaims that Yizang's talent is very impressive since he already has the blood ancestral reversion and a rather devilish nature. He thinks it's a shame though that he only has Mortal Vein Foundation establishment and gives him a blood treatment to heal his wounds. He also gives him 3 spiritual blood pills that will give him sharper sensitivity to blood ki. Wuji leaves as he instructs Yizang to focus on his cultivation while also conducting himself properly. Bai can't understand why he's being rewarded after doing such terrible things, and Shan arrives to greet the demon Yizang. Shan states that Yizang's talents are being wasted there and asks that he come back with him to the Corpse Peak. The other Grand Elders come out of nowhere as well and once again make their cases for why Yizang should join their peak. The bickering continues as Yizang hasn't said a word, but Jun arrives soon after to remind everyone that he is already part of Middle Peak. The other elders leave and Jun asks to be assured that Yizang won't leave her. Yizang still doesn't speak, so Jun just sends everyone home to tend to their injuries, including the furious Song. Jun then warns Bai that he needs to be very careful as the bloodstream sector is very chaotic and deceptive. Even Wuji is someone to be wary of. Yi Zhang doesn't believe that, but Jun reveals what Wuji did 800 years ago at the Sacred Lands. For the sake of his 9th tide level, Wuji slaughtered Foundation Establishment disciples from all 4 sectors. Jun warns him to stay away from Wuji, and he agrees to. She points out that Yi Zhang has demonstrated his immense power and will not be provoked by anyone, so he can peacefully stay in Middle Peak. The next day, Yi Zhang is treated much more differently, as he is called Demon Yi, and is thought to be someone that kills without batting an eye. Bai's home was completely destroyed in the fight, so he heads out to choose a much better one. As Bai walks around, he overhears several wild rumors about himself. Everyone seems to now think that his powers are boundless, and the power from one of his strikes can even shake a mountain. While the rumors were entertaining at first, they have also started to question his integrity. Yi Zhang finally arrives to apply for a new home and shocks everyone when he states his name. He proclaims that he is actually pure and kind-hearted as he starts to look through layouts of different homes. None are to his liking though, as they are all remote and sparse in blood key. He loudly wonders if there are none closer to the Bloodmaster Hall, and he is shown that those are already taken. Yi Zhang would like to hear about them anyway and is shown several of them. Bai is amazed to see just how much of a top quality home Song lives in, and asks to be shown even more. Another home has its own blood pool and is temperature regulated, but he is told that it belongs to Master Diviner. Yi Zhang is shocked to hear that Diviner lives in such a nice place, and the clerk calms him down as he seems to be unaware of the rules of the management office. He goes on to explain that these first-rate homes are not chosen, they are snatched. Moments later, we watch as Master Diviner is brooding over how much favoritism Yi Zhang received from Wuji, and vows to get vengeance on him one day. Just then, Bai arrives at the front of his house and calls out to Master Diviner as he would like for Diviner to offer his home to him. Master Diviner refuses to come out of his home, so Bai repeats the embarrassing thing he said about one day having Sumei be all his. Master Diviner finally emerges from his home and proclaims that it's time to teach Yi Zhang a lesson. Master Diviner decides that it's time to use his ultimate move, but surprises Bai when he gets on his knees and begs for Sumei to come get revenge for him. He continues to plead with her and promises to give her his absolute loyalty. Yi Zhang waits patiently, and we see that Sumei plans to use Diviner as a guardian in her trial. She is prepared to help him now, but changes her mind when she hears that the person giving him problems is Yi Zhang. Sumei states that she will give him justice later as she leaves, and we see that Bai has already started emptying the house. Diviner wonders if Sumei actually thinks highly of Yi Zhang's strength, and we see that that exact rumor has spread rapidly. The rumors grow out of control, and people begin to believe that Yi Zhang and Sumei now have a child. Jun hears this as well and assumes that Sumei has done it on purpose to bring more people to her side. Sometime later, Bai is shocked as Jun has summoned him to her home alone so late at night. She arrives to greet him, but he is unable to make eye contact, and she wonders if it's because he has taken a liking to Sumei. He fears that she will accuse him of betraying an elder, so he decides to search everything up. Yi Zhang states that he has killed countless people in his life, and the only ray of light that exists in his heart is her. He would like to protect her for the rest of her life, but he explains that Jun's current self isn't who she really is. Jun has never been told these words and is in disbelief to have found someone that understands her so well. He doesn't realize she is being genuine as he thinks about how evil she is, as she must be playing some kind of game. However, she reveals that she would like for Yi Zhang to one day become her peace advocate. Jun explains that the Blood and Spirit Stream sector have been fighting non-stop since the Lucian incident. To resolve the conflict, the Bloodstream sector has divided into one faction for war and one faction for peace. Wuji and his daughter Sumei are strong advocates for war, but the Song family is doing everything they can to advocate for peace. He is glad to hear that he is on the right side, but is then shocked as he is told to get things ready. In 3 days, he will join a diplomatic mission to the Spirit Stream sector. The first goal will be to investigate the strength of the Spirit Stream sector's Elder Bai. The second and most important goal, though, will be to find a resolution to all the fighting, so that a war is avoided. The problem is that all the sectors want the vacant spot in the middle stream. The Profound Stream sector is very ambitious and will soon finish a takeover of the nearby Pill Stream sector. After doing so, their strength will grow and they will definitely invade their Bloodstream sector. Furthermore, the Spirit Stream sector is waiting for this exact moment so that the Bloodstream sector can be attacked from both sides. This is why their diplomatic mission is of utmost importance. War is completely unavoidable at this point, but they can still try to affect who their opponent is. These matters are for the patriarchs to deal with though, and she has to Yi Zhang not think about it too much and just get ready to head to the Spirit Stream sector. Thanks for watching part 15, 6,000 likes and I'll know you want a part 16. Also, all other parts are in a link comment below.